Hello and welcome back to Aubrey Books and Coffee. Please grab your favorite beverage of choice and join me as we go through a mountain of books. So the stats for this month were actually incredible. Mind blown considering how busy it was, the stress that was happening. It was a lot in 1 month, plus my birthday. So of course I had to celebrate my birthday with my family, and that took time as well. But when all was said and done, I ended up reading several books. Now keep in mind, this includes ones that I had started previously and just finished this month. But I was able to do my 31 and 31. The last vlog will be coming out real soon for you guys. I think this Sunday. And yeah, it was a really fun and spooky season. And that's what we want for Halloween time, don't we? I mean, isn't that right? So without further ado, I had a good average rating for my star rating. And of course, audiobooks was my predominant means of reading the books. And yeah, I think that's all the stats I'm going to go into this time because I want to jump to these books. I started off by reading The Haunting of Blackwood House. I gave this 3 stars. It was a great concept. But I have to say, The Haunting of Hill House vibes were better in that book than this one. It didn't quite deliver at the end, and I was really disappointed by the ending, so ended up getting that 3 star. Then I finished Lights. This I gave 4 stars. It is the finale in this series. So flipping adorable. Highly recommend. I had such a good time, but there are some sad moments. Keep that in mind. Then I finished Alice in Borderland Volume 7. This was fabulous. I gave it 4 stars. Again, there's a lot of side plots happening. I'm just not as into these side characters as much as the main characters, so that's why I got 4 instead of 5. Then I finished Such Sharp Teeth. I gave this one 5 stars. I love the relationship of the sisters. I love that there's a minor romance in this. I love the werewolves. I just love Rachel Harrison's writing so much. Then I finished Mary. Again, this is by Bria from Reading Glasses, the podcast I love listening to. Gave it 5 stars. I thought it was so stinking cute. It was a nice little twist to Mary Shelley's ancestors, basically, and the generations after her, and just kind of how they're struggling with making their own way and path and different gifts and abilities that they have. But I thought it was so cute, and I really, really, really want to see the next edition. Then I finished Famous Last Words. I gave this 3 stars. It felt kind of spy-ish, and it's got the wife whose husband basically takes people hostage and nobody knows why. And there's a police officer investigating her and her husband and trying to figure out what's going on. So it was very interesting. But I will say it really slowed down in places that made it a little bit of a slog to get through. So that's why I ended up getting the 3 star. Then I finished The Reformatory, 5 stars. I went into great detail in my vlog about this. It is so heavy and sad, but oh my gosh, you guys, it is so, so good. I cannot recommend it highly enough. And that's why I now have the edition living on my shelves. Then I finished First We Were Four. What a letdown. I gave it 2 stars. It really just was very angsty and went off the rails in places, and they were sacrificing animals, and I don't like animal cruelty just for the sake of it. So for me, it just was not a win, and I have regrets. Then I finished I'm going to say it wrong again. Katabasis. There we go. Katabasis. 5 stars. It is extremely slow, like I said in my vlog. So if you don't like babble, you may not end up liking this one either. But if you did like the academic type setting and a little bit dry at times, but humor as well in babble, you'll like this one. So I highly recommend it. Then I attempted to finish Blood Moon. I ended up DNFing it. It felt way too much like a Vampire Diaries meets Vampire Academy meets angsty teens. I just couldn't do it, guys. I'm so sorry. So I had to DNF it. Then I also attempted to finish Immortal Consequences. This one has been talked about all over Booksphere. Really thought I would love it. I was bored and it was confusing, and I just didn't want to invest in it because it's supposed to be part of a much larger series, and I cannot commit to that. Then I did finally finish Rachel Harrison's Play Nice, the new one that came out this year. I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was so good. Again, family and sisterhood. Love it, love it, love it. Evil in This House. I am all for it. I had just ate it up, thought it was wonderful. There were moments that just kind of felt like they were dragging on a little bit for me, and that's why I got 4 instead of 5 star, but it is signed and I am still keeping it on my shelf. Then I finished Hunted by Darcy Coates. This one I gave 4 stars as well. This is, I think, my favorite Darcy Coates that I've read thus far. It was really creepy, really good, really atmospheric, and oh my gosh, the twists. So I highly recommend this one. Then I finished Kill for Me, Kill for You. I gave it 4 stars. It's very Strangers on a Train, except there is an interesting twist to it that really just kept me going. And I had such a good time with this one and highly recommend it. I finally finished Nightshade God, which is fabulous because I've been wanting to finish this series for a while and it gets another series off of my checklist. But I was kind of disappointed. That's why I got the 3 star. It was just kind of a meh ending for me. I really wanted more. Then I finished Horror Movie. This is my first Paul Tremblay, and I gave it 3 stars. It started off so good. It really, really did. And the audiobook, though, beware, because when the person's reading it, they add their own things throughout it that, for me, took away from that. I went into greater detail in my vlog. But basically, I was just kind of disappointed in the ending. I was disappointed in the last probably 25% of the book. And it was extremely slow, even leading to that. So for me, it was kind of a miss. But I wasn't super, super miserable. So it gets the 3 star. Then I finished Nestlings. Oh my gosh. Nat Cassidy was a miss for the other one that I did that had the wolf. A Wolf Comes Home, I think it's called. This one is why I see the hype for this author. I gave it 4 stars. It was very creepy. There's a lot of body horror and gruesomeness, so do prepare yourselves for that. But it was a great ride. Again, I went in more detail and all of these books I'm talking about in my vlogs for the Halloween season. Then I finished A Queen This Fierce and Deadly. I gave it 4 stars. This is the finale in the Kingdom of Lies series. It was just kind of meh for me. Don't get me wrong. The very, very ending was super, super cute, but there was just a lot of extra fluff I didn't think was needed between the previous book and this one that you could have just made it a trilogy. And I was just kind of bored in places, to be honest, which bums me out because I'm a part of her street team and I do love her writing style. I didn't love this series as much as I've really enjoyed the other ones that she's been coming out with. Then I finished The Return, 5 stars for me. Another Rachel Harrison, such a good time. I love the group dynamic of the friendships, but it's also a lot of body horror and extremely creepy. So prepare yourselves for that, but also a lot of fun, sarcastic humor that I had a good time with. Then I finished Cackle. This is the last Rachel Harrison I had to read, and it was so good. I gave it 4 stars. I loved the friendship between these 2 women. I loved accepting people even with their flaws, as well as learning to love yourself, which was the main theme of this book. And it was such a good time. And of course, there were witchy vibes as well. Highly recommend it. Then I finished I, Medusa. This was a NetGalley arc I am so blessed to have gotten. 5 stars. So amazing. I get to meet this author and get a signed copy next month. I cannot wait because, again, it was just beautifully, beautifully written. Beware of trigger warnings, especially if you don't know Medusa's story. I ended up DNFing a GoodReads win, which was the... I can hardly read my handwriting. The Wandering Princess trilogy, I think is what it's called. I got to 10%. The writing style was just very choppy to me. So every time somebody said something, it was, she came into the room. He said, she said, he said, she said, every single sentence. And I just got to where I was like, I cannot. This is annoying me. And it didn't seem to flow, which is a shame because there were some really quirky characters that were being introduced in the beginning that seemed so cute that I would have loved this series had it not been for the writing style. Then I finished Midnight Muse. This is another NetGalley arc I got, 3 stars. There were some really gross scenes, so do prepare yourselves for that. But there's ghosts, there's creepy moments. I just thought it was just a bit too long. It didn't need to be nearly that thick to tell this story, so that's why I got the lower rating for me. I ended up DNFing another arc, sadly. I didn't want to DNF it, but it's supposedly book one of like 8 books, and every single book is over 500 pages. Like, no, I cannot. The writing style was good, but like, it just didn't grab me. And I'm like, if book 1 doesn't grab me, why am I going to commit to 8 in the series? So I ended up DNFing for that. I would encourage you to give it a try if you don't mind super slow progression, and if you don't mind committing to an 8-book series where every single book is 600 plus pages. That might be for you. Then I finished Solo Leveling. I am so excited I got to this volume. 4 stars. It was really, really good. We're starting to get some repercussions for the powers that our main character keeps seeming to, level up and amp up in. And so it was real exciting to kind of see that happening. Then I finished Alice in Borderland Volume 8. I gave this 4 stars. Again, in the vlog, I went more detail. Again, more side stories, but at least we got some of the main character. Just a lot of angstiness too, again, which I could have done without. Then I finished Volume 9. This is the finale, 5 stars. I will say what ends up being the ending of what Alice in Borderland is, I'm disappointed. One of the potential things it could have been, I would have liked better, to be honest. What it actually ended up being was kind of a letdown for me, but it was such a fun ride getting there because the entire volume was the main characters trying to get to the end, trying to do that final game, trying to figure out what Alice in Borderland is, all the things. And so getting there was just such a fun ride. And so even though it wasn't what I wanted, it was a good enough that I got a 5-star out of it. Then I finished the next Solo Leveling, Volume 10. I gave it 4 stars. Wow, is all I'm going to say about it. We get some big reveals. We get some big moments. Something very important happens. And that's all I want to say about that. I ended up DNFing Bewitching, which is a shame. This was a book club pick, and for not my book club, but another book club I'm a part of, I had to DNF because it was so info dumping. Like in the very beginning, just tons and tons of info being dumped at you. And it was just so boring because of that. I really just needed more to pull me in. Then I finished Never Ever After, another NetGalley arc. I gave this 3 stars. I'm disappointed because for me, the entirety of the story, I mean, there's a little bit different that the author added into it, but for the most part, it's the cartoon Ye Shin, which is a Chinese Cinderella retelling. And I'll make sure to put an image here so you can see it. I grew up watching that as a kid, and it was literally that, but in written form. So I was disappointed about that. I wanted it to be a new story. And then I ended up finishing Blackthorn. This one is also a NetGalley. I gave it 3 stars. It felt very Hatfield and McCoy's. It was hilarious in places. The spice in it, though, was really strange at times. Think monster smut, so just be aware of that. That's why I got the 3-star for me, is once the smut started, it was like all the time. And I just wasn't into that. I wanted more actual story and plot progression. Then I finished Not Quite Dead Yet. I gave this 4 stars. I see why everybody's talking about it and why they like it. And if you like Holly Jackson's writing style, you're going to love this. Just keep in mind the premise of the story. You're going to need tissues at the end. It was really sad, but it was really, really good. I had a good time and I was on the edge of my seat often. Then I finished book 2 of the new series Eva Chase is doing, Bizarre Bonds. I gave it 3 stars. It really felt like the plot was progressing extremely slowly, and it just felt like it was a whole lot of monologuing versus actual movement of things. And I get that. You're going to have a series of books. You want to make sure that you don't go too fast or you have less in the series than you're wanting. But for me, it just made it kind of boring, sadly. And the last one I finished was The Housemaid, Frida McFadden. This one got 4 stars. I thought it was so good. I didn't know what I was expecting, but it certainly wasn't this. And the twists, and it was just everything for me. Any others that I finished, because I have to film this, edit it, and get it ready for you guys. So any others that I finished at the tail end of October will be reviewed next month. I'm sorry. And in the vlog on Sunday. So I got to get stuff out, guys. But that's all I have for now. It was a really good month. Let me know below what your favorite book was for October, how your Halloween plans went, if you're looking forward to anything in particular in November. And thank you as always for being here. Please like, subscribe, send your friends, and I'll see you guys next time.